Picture a single grain of rice. Now imagine doubling it every day for 30 days. Most people guess the final pile fits in a bowl. In reality, it would outweigh a mountain. That's the gap between how we think growth works and how it actually works. And it's the exact same gap that separates the people who build real wealth from everyone else still waiting for a raise. Most of us were handed a simple formula early on. Study hard, get a stable job, save what's left over. It sounds responsible. It also has a ceiling built directly into it, one that almost nobody points out. Today we're breaking down a completely different formula, the one actually used by people who built fortunes from nothing. Not luck, not inheritance, not a secret trick. A repeatable pattern hiding in plain sight, one you've probably walked past 100 times without noticing. The ceiling built into a paycheck. Here's a number worth sitting with. Someone earning $25 an hour, working full-time with no gaps, would need roughly 20 years just to accumulate $1 million, before taxes, before rent, before a single emergency ever happens. That's not a personal failure. It's simple arithmetic. A paycheck converts hours directly into dollars at a fixed rate that somebody else decided. There's a hard ceiling on how many hours exist in a week, which means there's a hard ceiling on that kind of income, no matter how talented or hardworking the person behind it is. This explains a strange pattern. Plenty of highly skilled, exhausted professionals stay financially stuck for decades, while people with far less formal training build enormous wealth in a fraction of the time. The difference was never talent. It was which formula each one was running, one bounded by hours, the other not bounded at all. What the market actually pays for. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Effort and income are not the same thing, and the market has never confused the two. A warehouse worker can move boxes for 10 hours straight and earn a fraction of what a software engineer earns typing for the same 10 hours, not because one works harder, but because one is easier to replace. Income doesn't track sweat. It tracks scarcity. If a skill or a solution is rare and hard to copy, the market pays a premium for it. If it's common and interchangeable, the market pays close to minimum, regardless of how tired someone is at the end of the day. This isn't a moral judgment, it's simply how value gets priced. And it points to a practical question worth asking about any job, side project, or skill. How many other people could step in and do exactly this tomorrow? The harder that is to answer, the more room there is to be paid well. Stop chasing dollars. Start chasing friction. Nearly every fortune traces back to the same starting point. Someone noticed a specific frustration and removed it. Waiting in long lines. Overpaying for something simple. Wasting hours on a task that should take minutes. That friction, small and annoying, is where money actually originates. This flips the usual approach upside down. Instead of asking, "How do I make money?" a more useful question is, "What keeps frustrating the people around me? And could I remove that friction for them?" Money, in this frame, isn't the target. It's the byproduct of removing something painful for enough people. The size of the frustration tends to match the size of the reward. Solve a minor annoyance for a handful of people, and you'll earn a little. Solve a widespread, genuinely painful problem for thousands of people, and the reward scales with it. The target was never the money itself. It was always the friction underneath it. The excuse that stops most people. The moment this idea lands, the objections usually follow immediately. I don't know how to code. I don't have investment money. I'm not the next tech founder. These objections feel logical, but they're built on a false assumption that solving a problem requires building the next massive platform from scratch. Most real solutions start embarrassingly small, a better way to organize a messy process, a simpler version of something overpriced, a service that already exists, done slightly faster or with better communication. None of that requires coding or a warehouse of investors. The starting move is almost always the same. Pay close attention to what people around you complain about, out loud, repeatedly. Not hypothetical global problems, actual daily annoyances voiced by real people in your circle. That complaint, repeated often enough by enough different people, is usually pointing directly at an opportunity worth examining. Why most solutions never turn into wealth. Finding a real problem is only half the equation. The other half is scale, and this is where most well-intentioned efforts quietly stall. A single tutor helping students one at a time is solving a real problem, but their income is still capped by the number of hours in their week. The moment that same lesson gets recorded once and sold to 1,000 students without any extra hours added, the entire equation changes. The work happened once. The income keeps multiplying without more hours being traded for it. This is the line between a job wearing a business costume and an actual scalable solution. The test is simple. Does this stop generating income the moment I stop showing up? If yes, it's still fundamentally a job, just a more flexible one. Real wealth-building solutions keep generating value, whether or not the creator is actively present at that exact moment. Letting go of the ego to let it grow. Once a solution actually works and starts scaling, a new obstacle tends to appear, and it's an internal one. The instinct to control every detail personally, convinced that nobody else could possibly do it as well. That instinct, left unchecked, quietly caps growth. There are only so many hours in a day for one person to personally handle everything. Building systems, clear processes, delegation, and eventually trusted people who can run parts of it independently is what allows a solution to keep growing past what one person alone could ever sustain. This requires a specific kind of discomfort. Accepting that someone else's version of a task, at 80% of your own standard, freeing up your time for higher value decisions, usually outperforms insisting on 100% perfection, done entirely by you. Letting go of small tasks isn't giving up control. It's the exact mechanism that allows anything to grow beyond a single person's limits. What the money was actually for. Here's where this gets interesting. People who reach real financial freedom rarely describe the moment as being about the money itself. What they describe is something quieter, not calculating whether a flight is affordable, not dreading a phone call from an unexpected expense, not trading another weekend for a shift they didn't want to work. Money, in the end, was never really the destination. It was the tool that bought back something far more valuable: unclaimed hours. Time spent with people who matter. Time spent on ideas worth pursuing. Time that isn't already owed to someone else before the day even begins. This reframes the entire chase. The goal was never a bigger number on a screen. It was reclaiming the one resource that can never be earned back once it's gone. Every dollar built through a scalable solution is, underneath the surface, simply time being bought back, one decision at a time. None of this guarantees an easy road. Most attempts at building something scalable will fail before they work, sometimes more than once. That part rarely gets mentioned in highlight reels, but it's the honest, unavoidable cost of this entire equation. What separates the people who eventually get there isn't luck or timing. It's a willingness to stop chasing a number and start paying attention to friction, frustration, and the problems quietly sitting in front of them the whole time. If any part of this reframed how you think about money, work, or time, that shift alone is worth carrying forward. Here on Rewire Inside, we keep exploring how psychology, behavior, and mindset quietly shape the financial decisions people make every single day. If you want more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next idea that changes how you see money might be just one video away.